Hello, welcome to Kimmel Bay Church Vlogs. Today we're starting a new series called 40 Chapters of Growth, and I'm starting off with the title, You're More Like God Than You Think. And for this we'll be focusing on Genesis chapter 1. I love Genesis. I love Genesis chapter 1, not least of all because of being a family and community worker and working with so many children. It gives me great scope for creativity. In crafts, in drama, in song, my imagination can go wild. After all, the creation story is the very beginning of all creativity. Unlike many of the things that I create, though, God created with great order. And as you read Genesis 1, you can see the symmetry and the order of God's creativity. In the first 3 days, God created spaces that in the next 3 days, he filled in the same order. On day 1, light and dark. On day 4, he filled those areas with the sun, the moon, and the stars. On day 2, sky and sea. On day 5, he filled those areas with birds and fish. On day 3, God formed land, and on day 6, he populated it with all kinds of animals and creatures. Also on day 6, God created human beings. Looking at this order, it's clear to see the build-up of God creating, the build-up to creating human beings, the very pinnacle of God's creation. Humans were not just made as other creatures were. Man was created in God's image, in his likeness. Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 to 27 tells us, Then God said, Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, over all the creatures that move along the ground. So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God he created them. Male and female he created them. The God who created the heavens and the earth tells us that we are made in his image. To be created in God's image tells us that we have been given a unique status, a divine dignity. As human beings, God has set us apart. But what does it actually mean to be created in God's image? Many theologians have argued over what it means to be made in God's image. Ian Carmichael lays out one simple explanation in his book, Busy. An image of something reveals aspects of something. The better the image, the more it reveals. If I show you my holiday photo of the Grand Canyon, you and I both know that my little 5x7 photo doesn't do justice to the scale and the wonder and the beauty of the real thing. But it's undeniably still an image of the Grand Canyon. It's not the photo that gives meaning to the Grand Canyon, it's the Grand Canyon that gives meaning and significance to the photo. In the same way, as God's image bearers, we derive our meaning and significance from him. But in doing so, we reflect real truths about God, even with our fallen nature. The image may be tainted or distorted, but it doesn't change the fact that we are still an image of God. Another explanation, I have 3 children. I have 2 sons and 1 daughter. My daughter has so many similarities to myself. We both like to travel, we like to explore new places, we like to learn about new cultures. We have similar sense of humour. We both like to drink coffee. Photos of myself when I was younger look just like my daughter. You could say that she bears my image. And this is how it is with God and human beings. We bear his image. We're more than just physical beings, but we have a spiritual element, our soul. We can't see it, but nonetheless, it is there. Externally, we bear God's image because of our capacity to experience relationships, which reflects God's own desire to be in relationship with us. We have a built-in need and desire to relate to God and other humans because we are created in his image. As God's image bearers, we are uniquely created to reveal aspects of God's own nature and purpose. Genesis 1 also reveals two truths about who you are. Firstly, you are not made as an accident or a mistake. You're not the result of some cosmic collision or explosion. You're not here by chance. You were created intentionally. You were created uniquely by God. Psalm 139, verse 13 and 14 describes this beautifully. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. Secondly, God created you as an act of love. We share ourselves with those that we care about. Just as we share ourselves with those we care about, God shared part of himself with us. Nothing else in all of creation can boast such a claim. When God sees you, he can't help but see a reflection and resemblance of himself. How amazing and how humbling is that? I want to finish by reading the reflection from the book that we're using for this series by Darren Sproul. Acknowledging God as creator is a simple and sure way to remove a weight of stress from our lives. We're made according to God's design, and our designer has given us a destiny. Fulfilling that destiny is a matter of putting our life and our future into his hands. We aren't expected to handle life on our own. We are God's responsibility. What's one action or attitude that you can change today that will better help you to reflect the image of God, your true identity? Thank you for listening. God bless.